Germany's defending twoman champion Francesco Friedrich has opted to change sleds for the next leg of the International Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation IBSF World Cup season, which begins in Winterberg tomorrow. The 27-year-old claimed the overall World Cup crown last term and also boasts 7 World Championship gold medals, but has not begun the Pyeongchang 2018 Olympic campaign in the best of form. He finished 9th twice at the season opener in Lake Placid in the United States and was then 13th in Whistler in Canada. This has left Friedrich 10th in the overall standings, and he is looking for better things at the first European leg of the season on his home track. He won his World Cup title using an on-loan sled from manufacturer's Wallner, which has now been sold to Austria. A new sled from the same company will now be utilized in Winterberg, where Friedrich will be pushed by Martin Graathkop. In all, a record number of 26 countries will compete at the Winterberg World Cup on a track celebrating its 40th birthday this year. 33 twoman teams will compete in bobsleigh alongside 34 men outfits and 23 women's bobsleigh duos. Skeleton events will see 34 men and 29 women take to the ice. Yeon Sung-bin will look to continue his good form in men's skeleton. Copyright Getty Images. And the twoman Canada currently occupy the top 2 positions in the World Cup standings. Justin Cripps, pushed by Alexander Kopach, currently sits first on 612 points after 2 second-place finishes and a 4th this term. Whistler champion Chris Spring, pushed by Neville Wright, currently sits second on 577. Germany's Nico Walther currently leads the German charge after winning the opening Lake Placid event, and has 545 points in third. Walther also sits second in the foreman standings with 577 points behind his teammate Johannes Lochner, who leads the way on 601. In women's bobsleigh, Canada's Kaylee Humphries and Melissa Lothels will look for a 3rd win of the season to cement their place at the top of the standings. South Korea's Yeon Sung-bin, a big medal hope for his home Olympics in Pyeongchang, will look to continue his strong start to the men's skeleton season, which sees him top the pile with 2 victories. Germany's Jacqueline Lolling, the winner in Whistler, is the slider to catch in the women's event. The World Cup will begin with both skeleton events tomorrow. However, a cloud may hang over proceedings, with the Russian doping crisis embroiling the sport. Legal action could be taken by the IBSF after its own hearing panel cleared 9 Russians sanctioned by the Oswald Commission. The World Cup is the first competition after Russians, including skeletons Alexander Tretiak, have had their suspensions lifted by an IBSF hearing panel. Copyright IBSF THE bobsleigh and skeleton athletes were originally suspended by the IBSF after they were found guilty by the International Olympic Committee (IOC) Disciplinary Commission and banned from the Olympic Games for life. But an IBSF hearing panel, which operates independently of the world governing body, lifted the suspensions last Friday, December 1, after it ruled there was not sufficient evidence to keep them in place. The athletes, including double Sochi 2014 gold medalist Alexander Zubkov and men's Olympic skeleton champion Alexander Tretiak, have been stripped of their medals and results and banned from competing at the Olympic Games for life by the IOC Disciplinary Commission. Chaired by Executive Board member Denis Oswald, Tretiak and Elena Nikitina, Olympic bronze medalist in women's skeleton at Sochi 2014, were banned from competing at the IBSF World Cup in Whistler last month after they were sanctioned by the Commission. Alexander Kasyanov, Alexei Pushcharyov and Elvir Kuzin, who had been in line to be upgraded to bronze from their home Olympics following the disqualification of the victorious foreman team, won the foreman event in Whistler along with Vasily Kondratenko despite being under investigation by the Oswald Commission.